So Be'ez Hashem Yisparach, we're going to start now a series on Kedushas Eretz Yisrael, on the holiness of Eretz Yisrael, on Chibas Eretz Yisrael, on love of Eretz Yisrael. So let's start from the beginning, literally from the beginning. Bereishis bara Elokim es hashamayim ve'es haaretz. The first pasuk in the Torah tells us Bereishis bara Elokim es hashamayim ve'es haaretz. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the land. And Rashi says right away, Bereishis, what does this word Bereishis mean? Bereishis is coming to be meramis to us, is hinting to us. Bishvil, for everything was created for Reishis, for the Torah, for Klal Yisrael, that is the purpose of creation. Additionally, Rashi points out that why does the Torah start with the story of how the world was created? Why doesn't the Torah start with the first mitzvah of the Torah, which is HaChodesh Hazeh, the Rosh Chodesh? Rather, HaKadosh Baruch Hu began the Torah with the Bereishis because Koyach Ma'asav Higid La'amo Laseis Le'am Nachlas Goyim. Rashi goes into a whole explanation that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted it to be clear that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the land, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will decide to whom to give the land. And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu deems it correct to give the land to Klal Yisrael, then no one can come and tell us, listim atem, you are robbers. And this first pasuk in the Torah right away starts with Klal Yisrael's connection and need for Eretz Yisrael. We need Eretz Yisrael in order to fulfill our destiny of being Reishis, of being the first, of being Am Yisrael, of being kulo ta kosher ta HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of being completely connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the ABCs of the whole Torah, the first thing the whole Torah is all about is this word Bereishis, which is right away coming to teach us that we have a very deep connection to Eretz Yisrael. And in order to be the Reishis, to be the nation of the first, to be this great nation that we're supposed to be, which is our destiny to be, we need Eretz Yisrael. So I heard very often in the name of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe that he used to say, if we as Am Yisrael would believe in Bereishis bara Elokim so clearly, then all of the entire world would believe that Eretz Yisrael belongs to us, and they wouldn't question it. The more we strengthen our emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the more it will be obvious to all of the nations that Eretz Yisrael belongs to us. So now let's talk about the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. What is Eretz Yisrael? Why is Eretz Yisrael such an important part of our destiny and such a necessity to fulfill our destiny? So there were three things which are only gained through Yisurim. Torah is one, Eretz Yisrael is another. And let's look into, in Parshas Bamidbar, the Meraglim, when they came into Eretz Yisrael. So the pasuk tells us, Shlach lecho anashim, send men, v'yisru es ha'aretz Canaan, and let them spy out Eretz Canaan. V'yishlach osa Moshe mimidbar paran al pi Hashem, kulam anashim Rosh Yisrael hema. HaKadosh Baruch Hu commands Moshe Rabbeinu, send shlach lecha, send for yourself anashim, men. And we know that any time the Torah uses the word anashim or ish, it's coming to denote a person who is of strong character, who is an ish emes, a trustworthy person, who is a true person, who has conquered his Yetzer Hara, who is above bribery. Take these people and send them from the desert of Paran, according to the word of Hashem. And the pasuk again repeats, Kulam Anoshim, they were all men of stature, the heads of their tribes. And the Baal HaTurim says, if you look at the word Kulam Anoshim, these Kulam Anoshim Rosh Yisrael Hema is alluding that they were all Chachamim, Sheyu Anoshim Chachamim V'Tzadikim. They were all wise and righteous men. And Rashi says in this pasuk, Kulam Anoshim, Kol Anoshim Shebemikra Lashon Chashivos. Anytime it says Anoshim in the psukim, it's connoting someone of Chashivos, of stature. V'oso shah ksherim hayu. And at that time, they were ksherim. So what happened? They come into Eretz Yisrael. They came in from the south Two, Yehoshua and Kalev went straight to Hebron, went straight to Maras HaMachpelah, Lishtateach al Kivri Avos, to daven by the burial place of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, and Leah. And the others went from the south to the north of Eretz Yisrael. And what did they see there? So when they came back in Pasuk Lamed Beis, and they reported to Klal Yisrael what they saw, their conclusion was that Eretz Yisrael is the Eretz Ocheles es Yoshvea hi. What does this mean? So literally it means it's a land which consumes its inhabitants. But what an interesting lashon, consumes. Rashi explains that what was going on at that time was that as they were going from place to place, every place they went, there were people dying. The people of Eretz Yisrael were dying out. And everywhere they went, from city to city to city, all they heard was the Levaya, so-and-so, Titkayem, Hayom, Bisha Arba. That's all they heard was Levaya and Bechi and people dying. So if they wanted to just denote that, they could have said it's a land Shehoreget et Yoshvea, which kills